In this video, we are going to teach you the top 5 Town Hall 9 3-star attack strategies that you can use to take down a base. We're going to start at number 5, working our way up to number 1, the best strategy in Clash of Clans. We will break each of these down, so you're not going to want to miss any of it. Let's get into that top 5 list. Alrighty guys, kicking off at number 5, we have the HPHB attack strategy. This is the healers, peckers, hogs and bowlers. Let me know down in the comments if you remember this strategy coming about probably around about 2 years ago when the HGHB strategy came around, and quickly we swapped giants for peckers, especially at Town Hall 9, to punch into the base and take down some set objectives. Now you're going to want to break down that funnel first, which is what we are doing a good job here with baby dragons, because the peckers can be easily walked around the base, so you want them to come straight into the base itself alongside your healers and bowlers. And the good thing about peckers is you do not need a jump spell. If you can create that funnel wide enough, look at this guys, they will just punch through that wall and they will continue to do the same as you move through the base, so you're essentially saving a spell there. You also want to try and keep your healers out of the way of an air defense if possible. They do just about catch it on this one, but obviously if you can work out an area of the base where you still get that value coming in but you protect your healers from air defense, that is obviously pivotal. If you are new here to the channel, be sure to subscribe for all of my Clash of Clans videos. I'd also recommend turning on the notification bell, because you might not get notified when my videos go live if you have not. Now at this point, with the healers, the bowlers and the peckers, we've punched into the base and taken out a huge section. We only now have this area of defenses around the perimeter for the Hog Riders to take down. We get a little bit unfortunate at the top north of the base there, where the hogs do indeed go down, but with this strategy being as impressive as it is, we still get it done. So again guys, the Hog Riders not really taking much of a pivotal role on this one. It's more where the peckers and the bowlers walk off to, because it can be difficult when you get them in the middle of the base to know exactly where they're going to go. They might split off to the left, split off to the right, depends on whether there's skeleton traps, the enemy queen, different things like that, and you basically have to adapt on the fly to send the Hog Riders into the area where they do not go. But that is only attack strategy number 5. We have 4 strategies for you which are better than that one. So without further ado, let's quickly move ahead to number 4. Moving on to attack strategy number 4, and we have the dragons. Be sure to let me know down in the comments what your top 5 strategies for Town Hall 9 would be, but the dragons being at number 4 is really because they are base specific. They are super powerful, but you've got to choose the bases correct. Now I do have an actual guide breaking this down, I'll be sure to link it above, but essentially you need to pick bases where we have access to all of the air defense pretty easily. So you can see on this one, all of them are down to the south. Now that is a reason many people will think, why on earth does this defender have all of the air defense at one side? Essentially, a LavaLoon style attack, you would lose all of your lava hounds across the base here, so it limits where you can come in from. You'd have to fly in from this region so that your lava hounds weren't lost and your balloons were then vulnerable to splash damage, but you'd also have the sweeper there. So that's why this base is around. But getting into it, what you need to do is, just take out the air defense and send your dragons into the other region. So we have a small kill squad coming in from the south, the queen then able to redirect in and take out the 3rd and 4th air defense. Meanwhile, we already have dragons coming in from the top. The important thing about the dragon attack strategy is as soon as you can put the dragons in, you want to do that, because you can run out on time if you're not careful. The dragons can be quite slow. Now often if you're using the dragons, you might see a situation with 2 air defense near to each other. These would actually be just out of range, but you can 3 lightning spells and an earthquake spell can actually take out 2 air defense. That can be one way of taking them down. If, let's say, you had 1 air defense up here, when you send the dragons in, just send a lava hound in ahead of the dragons, or even send in the dragons from a different area and then send a hound and a couple of loons in towards the air defense. There's different ways to adapt it, but essentially if you can take out 3 to 4 air defense relatively easily and the rest of the base is left open, I would definitely consider using the dragons at Town Hall 9. But the next 3 attacks, the top 3, are going to be very versatile across a number of different base designs. You will be able to use it, so let's get into number 3. Personally, this is one of my favourite attack strategies, but it comes in at number 3 because there is simply 2 better strategies than it. It is the Hog Riders. Now, there are a number of different ways to enter bases and set up these attacks. We show you a traditional one here because if you're wanting to learn strategies, I'd probably recommend a traditional kill squad, but you could use Sui Heroes, Queen Charge, a lot of different things, and I do break down these strategies in more depth on specific videos. So head to my homepage, I've got playlists of different Town Hall levels, select Town Hall 9 attacks and you'll see my different videos. But essentially, you want to create the funnel for your troops to come in. So we did that with golems and wizards on either side for our kill squad to come into the center of the base. A jump spell provided us access right the way in, and the kill squad is essentially your heroes and bowlers in the clan castle if you can take it. If not, Valkyries work well, but not as good as bowlers. You want to take out the enemy clan castle troops, the enemy queen for a Hog Rider attack because they're ground based troops, if you can, the king as well. But if you have to prioritize the king or queen, I definitely say the queen. Now you're also taking out a section of the base so that you can control the pathing of your Hog Riders. As you can see, we know exactly where they are going to go because they are defense targeting troops. They will go from one defense to the next, and because we took out that top area of the base, they circled around the end of the base as well. So you want to think about a semicircle or a horseshoe, an L shape, whatever you want to describe it as. You want to take out a section of the base so that you can then control where the Hog Riders will go. That way you know exactly where they're going to go. You can put heal spells on top of them and try and get the pathing short enough that they're not going to start splitting all over, and you can actually have a heal spell on top of all of the Hog Riders, not just some of them. The final point for the Hogs, do not forget about them cleanup troops. Wizards, as soon as Hog Riders have taken out defenses in an area, will help you out. But let's move along to attack strategy number 2. Moving up to the number 2 attack strategy, we have the LavaLoon. Many of you might actually think that this is the best strategy. Again, let me know down in the comments your list, and like other people's if you agree with it to push them up the list. LavaLoon potentially is the strongest. It is super powerful if you can get it to work, but it requires a lot more skill. With the number 1 strategy, there are 2 variations of it, and I will show you both of them. But to enter for the LavaLoon, again, we're going to suggest to you a traditional kill squad. So taking out that area of the base, pressing in so that you've created the funnel, and again, a traditional kill squad is a traditional kill squad. Whether you then choose the LavaLoon to finish off, whether you choose the Hog Riders to finish off, it really doesn't matter. You can transition across different ones, but why the LavaLoon for this one? Firstly, we have 3 air defense that we can pin lava hounds onto, look, and they will absorb the fire of all of the different defenses here from the loons. Essentially as well, the air sweepers are gone. There was one at the bottom of the base here, but even if the queen didn't get it, we could bring the balloons in. So you're bringing balloons in across separate defenses. You want to be using haste spells because the loons are super powerful. You don't really need rage or heals, but but sometimes when your balloons clump together, you might use it to incorporate all of your loons. But you want to try and bring them in from one area like a star and allow them to merge in the middle, but using them lava hounds effectively to protect. Don't forget a couple of loons as well to help at the back end, especially if you have splash damages, because the loons will clump together. With the best will in the world and bringing them in surgically, they will clump, and you want to make sure you have a plan for back end wizard towers. You can use haste spells or heal spells, anything to help the loons through, but try and bring in a loon on the back end as well, just to distract. So that is the number 2. Let's move to the number 1, and again we have 2 variations of it. The number 1 strategy at Town Hall 9 is still the witches. They are super powerful, guys. What you want to ensure you do is come in from a flat side, whatever side that might be, and swoop around the base with one pack, around the other side of the base with another, with your main coming through the center. There's 2 different variations. The first one you will see here is using golems, and then we'll show you the second variation after this attack. By the way, guys, all of these attacks were from the Content Creator War. A bunch of YouTubers and Twitch streamers came together. I was on Team Carbon Fim. This is actually Tychus Maximus from my little team, one of my subscribers and friends, joining Carbon Fin. If you actually are watching this video as soon as it's posted, head on over to Twitch because someone will be live with the rest of it. But for the witches, ensure you have access through the base. We've done that with a jump spell entering the base and a jump spell giving us access. Look at how early as well we've used the rage and the heal. That is pretty pivotal. Typically you will use the rage spell just as you enter the base. That will enable the bowlers to quickly get some defenses down, quickly get through the CC. Obviously the poison spell was there as well. When they then get into the center of the base, you want the heal spell to just kind of boost them back up. Essentially at that point your spells are used. Now unless the base design really explains otherwise, that is your kind of go-to standard, if you will, and essentially you need to hollow out the center of the base. Even if your witches coming around either side don't quite make it, you can still punch out of the base with the queen and the witches on the inside in order to take them and even shoot across 2 defenses just within the base. But what you do not want is to miss things in the center of the base. That's where access through is important, the rage and the heal. Again, let me know your top strategy below and leave a like if you've enjoyed this video. But we are going to show you the other variation of the witches, because there are essentially the golems or the healers, and you can choose the best strategy based on the base that you are coming up against. So let's go ahead and show you how to use the healers alongside the witches. Let's go ahead and show you how to use the healers alongside the witches. Essentially, it's a similar strategy, just the subtle difference. The previous attack you've seen used 2 golems. You'll either use 2 to 3, 1 for either side and 1 through the middle. Essentially, with the healers, you're using 2 healers on either side to keep your witches alive as they run down either side of the base. If you decide to heal the queen and use her to walk around the side of the base, depending on what defenses you're shooting at, then you might choose to use 3 healers. Look at how quickly we are able to take down the enemy queen here by keeping these witches alive. Beautiful stuff, so do not worry about that. Again, the queen over there has a little bit extra range, so you can use her as a bit of a queen walk, and she is responsible for taking out this area here. Essentially, if you're keeping your witches alive down either side, you can maintain your pack coming straight through. They're not as likely to shoot across to either side because you are taking that out. You still need to ensure access through the base, obviously the jump spell here, but essentially when you're using the healers is when you can keep them out of range of the air defense. So if you want to rewind back, you will actually see the position of the air defense. You can see this one just about starts to clip the healers, but the bowlers take it down. But on this left hand side there was only this one air defense, and once you get to the end of the base you've kind of already got the value even if the healers go down. So look at it. so many witches left up, bowlers through the middle. We've got the queen at this top side because she had healers. Witches coming around this bottom side because they had healers. The healers is probably a little bit more technical, but it's definitely stronger if you can get it to work, and I hope that did help out. So be sure to leave a like if you want more help on funneling your troops, ensuring they get into the base itself. We have a video there, I'd highly recommend it. The most important skill in Clash of Clans, and I also have a video linked in the description on the witches themselves, just breaking down the best strategy. But that wraps it up for this one. Until next time, peace out.